Hey, so what to do when you're having side effects from your GLP-1 drug? And truthfully, I've talked about this before, and I was on the highest dose, the 15 milligrams per week, and I could not tolerate it. So I've now gone down to the 12.5, which is so much easier, and I don't have this terrible heartburn. But hey, maybe it's not forever because I'm working with their wellness coach that comes from my insurance because they want to know that you're not just relying on the GLP-1 drug, which I'm not. I'm one of those people who likes to think of myself comprehensively. I am tracking my calories. I just started using an app, which I don't like, but I'm trying another one. There's this app where you take a photograph of the food you eat of the plate, and it is too difficult to use. So guess what? I'm getting rid of it. I'm sorry that I even tried it, but hey, that's how you learn. Meanwhile, I've got the Hume Band, and they just added a feature which I'm excited about. They have added a feature where you can take a picture or scan the barcode if you're using something that's in a package, or you can text it in manually. And I am so much more pleased with what now again, their nutrition section is in the beta, but I compare it to the app I'm using called Lose It. And you know what? So far, it seems good. So this is MC of Healthy by George. I am here each week to talk about all things health and wellness, especially those things that will help us move into our 80s and 90s as the very best version of who we are. Please think about subscribing. I would love to see you here. Subscribe, watch through the end of the video. It would help me so much to continue on this journey and share the information I've learned from over 30 years. I can't even believe I've been doing research for 30 years, 30 years of working in health and wellness. And I still enjoy it. I still am so fascinated by our bodies, our health, our wellness. So back to the GLP-1 drug and tracking. There's never one bullet for anything. We really do need to see how we can incorporate our lifestyles into our way of living, into our behavior. And it is difficult because all around us, there's food in packages that are tempting and that are delicious, and Doritos and Cheetos and Frito-Lays and Twinkies or Little Debbie's or Intamins. Come on, it's everywhere, everywhere. But by the very first time, and this is a really unbelievable recognition for me, I went to a family party. They had a bunch of Chipotle and they had the cupcakes from one of the grocery stores. I could not eat it. I couldn't eat it. It wasn't palatable. Oh my God. It wasn't tasty. I really have recognized that my taste buds have totally changed. I couldn't tolerate the seasoning that was on the Chipotle. I couldn't tolerate the sweetness of the cupcakes. It was just shocking to me how much my taste buds have changed just by the pure fact that all I did was start eating whole foods. Whole foods, fruits, berries, things that have natural sweetness to them. Or if it's anything, it's like maple syrup or small amount of agave or honey or something simple like that. I am completely amazed that my taste buds have changed. And I think I've been doing this now. In August will be 3 years on Mounjaro, and I'm excited to hit the 3-year mark. But all I see, basically, because I'm using this Hume Band, is I am gaining muscle, not a lot, and I am losing, but it's so slow, which maybe that's a good thing because I think when you do lose a lot of weight too fast, it's like Rosie O'Donnell was talking about. She felt like she had this gaunt face. And that's a risk. You lose the fat too fast, and a lot of it is in your face. So I don't want to do that. I don't want to have a gaunt face. I'm already going to have a certain look because I'm older. I don't want to have some hollowed out cheeks too because I'm on a Mounjaro. But I do feel like I'm making progress. I am tracking. I am working towards better sleep, which frankly is not simple. Trying to figure that out. I'm working now because I just saw my doctor, and I'm going to talk about this more in another episode about this issue around cholesterol. That was a little elevated last year, but this time it's just a little more elevated than last year. And also, too, there's another number that's a little more elevated. So I kind of wonder if that's all the eggs I'm eating or I eat too much red meat. I don't know. I'm definitely going to play around with my food choices in the whole food range. Add more beans and legumes, more veggies. I've looked at some very interesting salads I can make that I think will be enjoyable for this summer. Eating light. Tonight, I ate a salmon, half a sweet potato, and some broccoli. And for dessert, I had that Rebel ice cream, which is low in sugar, high in protein. But I don't like the way it tastes by itself. I'm so picky. I took a third of a cup, added some almond milk and blueberries. It was delicious. It really hit the spot for eating something cold and creamy like ice cream. I think that's the one thing I truly miss, the high fat, high sugar types of really good quality ice cream. Plus, I'm facing a birthday this coming weekend, and I don't want to just feel like I'm doing nothing but limiting my choices. And I'm really working towards how can I do something that's enjoyable for my birthday and still feel like it's planned. I know I want some chocolate cake. I already know this. Maybe I won't choose a steak, but I will choose a very nice fish or scallops. I love scallops. Treating myself with a beautiful dinner with my partner and then basically having some chocolate cake. But you know what? I don't need to eat all the chocolate cake. I can eat what I like until it's enjoyable. And I don't want some cheap version of a chocolate cake. I want a very rich, well made. I don't even want something from Magnolia. I've had their cakes. I'm not sure where I want to get this cake from, but there's this wonderful little Paris bakery that's up the street and they do cakes. So I might look into that. And what's so cool about them is they bring in their flour from someplace else. So that's neat that they're using ingredients that you can kind of see what they are. So if you're someone like me who has struggled with your weight and you're finding a success, or maybe not, maybe you're not finding success with GLP-1 drugs, I understand. It's never a simple one and done. It is about looking at our food choices, looking at our movement choices, looking at our sleep and our rest and our stress. And there's so many things that go into our wholeness. And what's frustrating, so frustrating, is that the type of support we get from our medical insurance, it's not about wellness and prevention. It's about illness, which is so discouraging because nowadays we should be focusing on wellness and prevention. Nobody wants to end up sick. Nobody wants to end up in the hospital. Nobody wants to end up old and feeble. Not me. I hope that's you too, right? You want to stay strong and functioning as long as you can, no matter what happens. Aging is going to happen no matter what. That's part of the life cycle. It's called getting older and leaving this world. But do we have to do it in a decrepit way or a weakened way? No, I think we can start now investing in who we are and contributing to our wellness and make ourselves the very best version of who we are. And granted, I haven't been one of those people all my life. I've not been a sports person. I've not been some kind of exercise person like some of my family members. I've just been a hit or miss. And a lot of it has been because of this kind of emotional triggering of being a person who was overweight since I was 10. But I think I don't have to hold on to that anymore. I can let that go. I can determine and be something more than what was in my life. And I hope you feel that way too. That what was behind you doesn't have to define who you are right now, doesn't define who I am right now. And I'm not going to let any old behavior continue to define who I am right now and going forward. So please subscribe. Join me here every week. I would love to see you here. And let me know how you're managing things. Even if you're not on a GLP-1 drugs, what do you do to make yourself feel like you're contributing to your ongoing wellness? What is it that you do? How are you supporting yourself in investing every day in your wellness? Do you have a routine or practice? I would love to hear about it. So remember, you have one precious life. Let's live it to the fullest. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. So thank you so much for joining me at Healthy by George. I hope you found the information inspiring and that it encourages you on your wellness journey. Because remember, your body, your well-being are a most precious gift, and every tiny action taken daily can make a huge difference. I hope the information here is educational purposes and is not meant to replace your medical care. See your doctor and talk about what works for you. If you enjoyed today's content, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Your support means the world to me, and it helps me continuing creating content that inspires and empowers you to live your best life. Goodbye for now, and join me again at the next Healthy by George.